Hi everyone, it's Alex from XM Studios, and we're here today to do something really exciting. So we're going to do a panel for our Godzilla releases, and we've got on our panel today, we've got myself. So I'm Alex. I work for XM as the community manager. To my side, we have Stanley. I always point the wrong way. Got Stanley. So do you want to introduce yourself, Stanley?
I'm Stanley. I'm the assistant creative director from XM Studios. Yep.
And then next along we have Helmi.
Hi guys, I'm just a huge Godzilla fan here. Excited to be here to talk more about Godzilla. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, and I was known to have the Godzilla cinema as well, so I don't know.
Well, recently you had the article on coconuts about your new setup. So yeah. If you go down below, always feels like I'm on Brady Bunch with this. Go down below, you've got the G Forever.
Hey guys, G Forever here on the Luminous News team. Huge collector and huge Godzilla fan since 5 years old, and as you see, I've been collecting tons of Godzilla stuff, ranging from the small Bandai figures, Trendmasters, all the way to X Plus, and even greater and better things to come, which is XM Studios.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then we go across. Last but not least, we got Heisenberg.
Hello, I'm Heisenberg. Yes, I work with G Forever at Luminous News, reviewing Godzilla toys.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're not going to waste any time. We're going to go straight into the videos here. So we're going to show you the first reveal of the videos for our Godzilla and our SpaceGodzilla. So keep watching.
Wow, that was completely amazing.
Awesome. So let's go across to Helmi. And is there anything that stands out for you there, Helmi, in the videos?
I know this is going to sound really lame, but I'm really digging the bases, right? Like even the simple base, like the basic base, I thought it looked amazing. I just love the fact that you guys have that sign down there, and in Japanese, I just thought it was really classy. And in terms of the statue, I don't know if I'm seeing it right, but it looks better than what was showcased at the con as well. So
well, when we show the prototypes we show in New York was a very early paint up, so these are further down the line and more true to what you're going to get.
Yeah. I'm excited. They look really good. I'm really digging the bases, and just the pose of it looks great for me.
Yeah. Down to Heisenberg. Anything stand out for you for the two?
Yes, I think we'll have to check with G Forever, but I think they've never looked better. I mean, these are the biggest, biggest and most detailed and most screen accurate versions of these monsters we've ever had.
That's a huge claim, yeah.
Oh yeah. What do you think? What do you think, G Forever?
Yeah, I mean, as Helmi mentioned, like just seeing these, updated paintwork, they look incredible. I think. The early prototypes at New York Comic-Con, they looked fantastic, but it looks like there's a definitely huge improvement of the paintwork. It seems like the details are more crispier. I think the jaw on Godzilla 94 is actually, you don't see the seam anymore. I think it's a huge improvement. And as Heisenberg said, this is probably the best representation of the '94 Godzilla as well as Space Godzilla. And this is probably the biggest. If you see on the table, like there's been several Godzillas and Space Godzilla figures, but this is definitely the largest ones you can find. So I'm very excited, and the bases are incredible. Like this is something that is out of this world, I feel.
Awesome! Wow. Would one of you guys like to go through and give just some of the background on the actual movies? Just go through the characters in those movies.
Yeah, sure. Like I can quickly talk about it. So the Space Godzilla design, I believe, is actually originated from the 1990, I think it was free a Super Nintendo game called Super Godzilla. And before they added the crystals, I think there was like some spikes on the back, and Godzilla had extra. He had the crown, just like what Space Godzilla had, the extra teeth. But I think when they tried to bring it to the movie, they wanted something. They were depicting different types of monsters, but I think they ended up picking like a crystallized monster. And then suit maker Shinichi Wakasa always wanted a green Godzilla. So he actually made. I met with him at his studio, Monsters Inc. in Japan, and he actually had. He showed me photos of the original suit color, which was a green Space Godzilla. And I think it was like not a last minute change, but probably like in the middle of making it, that they said, "Oh, we need something darker. We need something more, a little more menacing." So they went with like a bluish color. So I think Shinichi was a little little disappointed he couldn't get the green into Space Godzilla, but he was able to bring the green into Godzilla 2000. So he got his wish just a few years later. But yeah, so that's how Space Godzilla kind of came about. And, one of the really cool Space Godzillas that I have is this Trendmasters one. This is probably my very first Space Godzilla that I ever got back in 1994, I believe, 94, 95 time frame. And as a kid, at the time, I didn't have access to the Heisei Godzilla movies because I think in the 90s the film stopped at Godzilla vs. Biollante, which was released by HBO in the US, but they never imported the other films until later on. So at first I thought this was Super Godzilla from the game, but later on, until I actually found out, oh, there's a Space Godzilla, and it's really cool to see him in the movie for the first time. And but all the awesome colors of Space Godzilla, and yeah, just really glad to see XM Studios take on this really amazing kaiju that no one else has been able to really get perfect. So I think I really look forward to this upcoming diorama.
Yeah. So the actual two statues, they depict the final battle in the movie. Could you say how this was such an iconic moment in the movie and why?
Yeah, this is like probably the final fight scene where Godzilla, Space Godzilla, and Mulgera do battle in the city of Fukuoka. It was unlike any other Godzilla movies in the past because Space Godzilla generates his powers from these crystals, and he's just like spawning crystals all over the city, which makes it very unique. I think this is a really awesome first entry into the studio, into the statue line, because you can really play with the bases here, because you can actually recreate that scene as you've seen a couple of these, like this guy right here. You have the crystals around the city and the tower, the Fukuoka Tower, and all these like minifigures. You'll see they have like the city bases, the crystals. So that's something very different from other Godzilla films. Like you don't have all that that cool like crystals like popping out. So I think this is a great first entry, and really I mean, from what we've seen so far, it's perfect. I mean, I'm loving all the colors, and it's very screen accurate, and yeah, I'm super excited.
As huge Godzilla collectors, what are some of the points that you look for in a Godzilla collectible? Is it more the concept, movie accuracy, the colors, the pose, nostalgia? Which elements are they? We'll go for Helmi over there.
All right. So for me, I love Godzilla. Also, when I think of Godzilla, I think of size. I want it big, right? The bigger, the better. So I'm excited that you guys are releasing something big for your first piece. So,
Well, you're
for
also
me,
a
it's
statue
size.
collector as well.
Yeah,
You're a
yeah,
statue. You've been an XM collector for a long time, so yeah.
yeah. XM collector for a long time, and the very idea that you guys are doing Godzilla. The first day I found out about it, my mind just right. To get a premium company releasing a statue, a polyresin statue of Godzilla, wow, I'm excited. And for me, the size, and I don't mind a bit of stylization, especially if it enhances the look, especially if you make Godzilla look more menacing and stuff like that. But at the same time, I can also appreciate suit accuracy. Some of the X Plus sculpts had the area where you can see the guy would have to unzip and go in. So I'm okay with balance of both. I'm happy with balance of both. But yeah, for me, size, paint app, and just that menacing feel, So in terms of the pose, if he looks angry, he looks threatening. I love that.
I jump in. Yeah, feel is very important to me. It's like I want to, when I look at it, I want to be sort of taken back. I want to have an emotional response. I want to be taken back to and recall like when I saw the movie and how exciting the movie was. And so so it's and that's one way to achieve that is to have these movie accurate depictions, but also with sort of really try to bring about try to capture some of the dynamism and and the emotion, and the emotion of the film.
100%. I mean, that's one of the main reasons I collect statues is totally the nostalgia. For me, that's what always pulls me back. I always say I'm always out. Yeah. I'm going to stop collecting. Another one comes up, and I'm like, okay. I remember that. I remember that. Takes you right back.
Oh yeah, and I'm with Helmi. Big is good. Yeah. Bigger. Yeah, the bigger the better.
Stanley's a little bit too quiet over there, so we're going to go across to Stanley and ask him a few questions. So, could you share a little bit more about the concept, Stanley?
Yeah, sure. So, I guess like what you guys mentioned just now, we being our first release for Godzilla, we really wanted something that is impactful, something that is a trophy. So, and that is why the team had decided that we wanted to basically select a Godzilla that showcases things like that. So immediately, 94 came into mind because of SpaceGodzilla as well, and like what G4 mentioned, it is one of the films that has very unique elements, being integrated into the entire setting, the crystals, the story, the background story. So that is something that we wanted to basically showcase to everybody. And yeah, that's how we get it. And most importantly, being our first piece, we wanted to pay tribute in a way and much to how Godzilla really is, which is man in suit. So I mean, with all the technology that is available now, we have CGIs and stuff, but what is important, I guess, is also for being the I would say the initial phase of how kaiju, is made known to the world. Man in suit is important, and how I would say practical effects is being introduced. How things are being constructed, how things are being smashed apart on scene. So this is something that we wanted to recreate as well. So that's part of the concept. You're wondering for these two pieces. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What were the main sources of your inspiration for this?
Oh, like I mentioned, it's definitely the movies itself. I've been a big fan of Godzilla myself, and I've been watching it. And yeah, definitely the movies, the storyline, the emotional attachment, and of course, like I just mentioned, it's more about us recreating what I would say people has tried to I mean the previous filmmakers, the guys over the studio guys have been trying to bring out to the world, but it's true film. But what we can do in XM now is to we scale it down so they can put it at home. So that is one of the ideas that we have. Yeah.
And why was the Godzilla and SpaceGodzilla from the 1994 movie chosen as the first full-scale statue that we worked on back then?
Because it's like I mentioned, it's unique, it's iconic. Everybody knows Godzilla, and I think he's probably one of the face of Godzilla, 94, 95. That particular art style, the particular look, the colors. So that is one of the key reasons why we selected Godzilla as the first piece. And of course, as a companion piece, Space Godzilla is also very, very, I would say, well known and well liked by the community. So that's one of the main reasons. And yeah.
Can I just jump in and say that with Space Godzilla, man, I've literally been saying this for years. I wanted a gigantic size Space Godzilla. And when you guys said that was the first piece you guys producing, I'm like, wow, literally the first one I want to get is what you guys are doing. I'm so excited. So thank you for that. I'm pumped. And I'll be honest, when I saw the pictures just now in the video, and especially the base and all that, at first I wasn't so sold on the normal Godzilla, the 94 Godzilla. I was like, maybe I'll just get the Space Godzilla. But then I saw both. I was like, oh man, you guys, I need to save. I don't want to be spending
They look so
more, but
good together.
I have to. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that is one of the unique points as well, because there are collectors who probably just like Space Godzilla, and there are collectors that really, really dig Godzilla, right? So, and as a set, because of the huge size of this, I would say kaiju, we figure out that probably separating them is going to be interesting, because it caters for all collectors. And while I mentioned this, I guess people who wants to have the entire scene, being set up at home, we allow you to do that as well. Like I think both. And what's important here is the switch out elements on Godzilla itself, himself, because of the switch outs that like what G4 mentioned, the crystals is one of the key elements to tie in the base. So we allow that to happen as well. So I think it's a pretty interesting setup, for that caters for everybody.
And we did touch on this a little bit earlier, but this interpretation by XM is very true to the 1994 movie, and it carries the very distinct aesthetics with the suitmation, the poses, the buildings that was born due to the production's limitations, because at the time there was no CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share how XM tried to achieve that and bring it to life and stay true to that, especially regarding the suitmation and
Mm-hmm. So I guess it comes from various sources as well. Tanaka Sensei is definitely one of the key elements here, because he's a huge Godzilla fan as well. The for him to sculpt something this detailed is part of his I would say dream, I guess. He himself creates lots of different Godzilla.
Yes.
And but this is one of the pieces that he, as mentioned, he was really excited about, because it's the first time people try to recreate a scene so huge, and we can't approach him. And of course, with the help of Toho, they provided us with details, with shots, with feedbacks. So that is something that is important to the team, because that is how we can try to make it as close as possible to the set, because it's really long ago, right? 94.
Yes.
So certain details weren't really documented, I guess. But there are always the movies itself helps as well, because you can pause it. So yeah, Tanaka himself, the team did a lot of research, just trying to make it screen accurate. So I guess that's something that the team is really proud of, and yeah, we are super excited. Yeah.
Awesome. What do you guys think about the aesthetic, about the suitmation? I know that you mentioned about the actual zip being on other pieces and things like that to be actually really accurate, but what do you think that's important to be very true to it, or to kind of take away the zip and get away from that a little bit?
I think as a collector, it's nice to see it every so often, because it's just neat just to have it. But I think, as Helmi mentioned, you can go both ways. I think sometimes a little more stylized is fine. I personally like the as accurate as possible. But yeah, maybe some elements like the zipper, you can kind of hide that. that's totally fine with me. And I just want something that looks just like what I saw in the movie. And like if I can like bring that from the TV screen onto my my desk or my shelf, that's what I want. And then I can see it in action, like all that really cool poses. Just feel the power, and and if you have like some light setup, you can kind of like help recreate all the different lighting from the film as well.
I think on a smaller piece, I actually think it would be a nice Easter egg to have, that detail on there. But if you have something of this scale, I think it would take away from it a little bit. I think there is like a line, to be honest with it. But,
definitely.
And
but one of my favorite parts of these movies is the fact that it's men in suits.
Men in suit, yeah.
So that's what I wanted. So I'm very happy to see that depicted in the in the figures.
Yeah, and also like we've been seeing a lot of like the MonsterVerse and Shin Godzilla, so it's really refreshing to see like a classic classic Godzilla figures being made again, especially like with the Heisei Godzilla '94 being kind of like. As Stanley mentioned, like that's if you think of Godzilla, that's typically like the first Godzilla. You'll see it at the in Shinjuku, the Godzilla Hotel, the head that they used the '94 there. So I think that's the first Godzilla you see, like the image is like the Heisei Godzilla. I grew up with the Showa Godzillas as well, but like the one that comes first to my mind is probably the Heisei Godzilla, and '94 is a pretty good one to start with.
And you said about Shin, it's Shin's in CGI, isn't it?
Yes, Shin's in CGI. So it's really nice to see, because Godzilla '94 and SpaceGodzilla are fully suits. So it's really nice and refreshing to see something that's sculpted. Based off of the suits, and not just kind of like taking the CG model and making modifications.
And one of the points that's been asked a few times is that the tower is not depicted on the base, but it was quite an important thing. Yeah. So do you want to talk about that, Stanley?
Yeah. So for the tower, we try to keep it as generic as possible in terms of the base. We didn't really want to feature any landmarks due to, I would say, rights or legal issues. We just want to stay away from that. And to be honest, the tower itself is really big, and we do not really want to take away the attention, from Godzilla, SpaceGodzilla himself. So that's why we went ahead and said, you know what, let's create a scene. Really, just to showcase Godzilla and Shin and SpaceGodzilla. So that's the reason why the tower isn't there. So yeah.
And one of the other questions that has been coming up as well, quite important, obviously, is will Godzilla Jr. be making an appearance?
Sorry, what?
Will Godzilla Jr. be making an appearance?
Not now. Not now.
It's worth a try.
Well,
okay.
We'll see.
Okay, what we're going to do then is
maybe a future piece.
Probably,
yeah, like a bonus item or something.
Yeah, because to be honest, most Godzilla fans love the Junior. So yeah, I think it's pretty awesome if we can seriously just come up one itself. Yeah, but anyways, it's another discussion.
Yeah, little Godzilla is very cute. So definitely will be awesome to see him make it to the XM line.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
What about Mogera here?
Well, soon. well, to be honest, we do plan a wide variety, right? Of characters that we're going to develop. So, being our first release, we wanted to showcase something that everybody's familiar with us. Moving forward, definitely I guess our aim is really to create almost every Godzilla. that's the ultimate aim for XM Studios. But of course, that's like a lot. And besides Godzilla and all his nemesis and stuff like that. So it's all in the it's all planned, frankly. And I guess the collectors and the fans will just have to sit back, relax, and wait for them to all coming out. Yeah.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go and show a video we did with Tanika. So Tanaka Kenichi is a sculptor who works in clay and in 3D sculpting with ZBrush. He specializes in sculpting Godzilla and other monsters. Godzilla and SpaceGodzilla was conceptualized and interpreted by XM Studios together with acclaimed illustrator and sculptor Tanaka. He is the 2D and 3D artist for Godzilla and SpaceGodzilla, Godzilla 2001 bust, and the Shin Godzilla bust. XM has reached out to Tanaka to get him to share his thoughts on the project, and we'll be playing the video of his responses. So let's get over to that right now.
こんにちは。私は田中健一と言いまして、日本に住む造形作家です。主に怪獣の造形をやってます。他の仕事としてテレビドラマの、監督をしたりとか、たまにそういうことをやっています。基本的にもゴジラに取り憑かれてゴジラばっかり作ってる怪獣とかを作ってる男であります。それをベースにしてXMスタジオさんと一緒にまた新たに60センチサイズで作り直し展開するという企画で始まりました。その最初の2作品ということになります。とてももう興奮した毎日でしたね。やっぱり自分で田中スタジオとして作ってる時は基本的に一人でやるものなんですが、やっぱりスタンリーさんはじめ XM スタジオさんのスタッフさんのご意見を聞きながら作るっていうのはやっぱりみんなで作ってる感じがあってですね、映画を作ってる時と同じような一人のイマジネーションじゃなくて全員の想像力が加わって自分だけだと気づかない点にたくさん気づいてですね、やっぱりそれがさらに良いものを作り上げるのにつながったなととても思ってます。今回のゴジラシリーズのコンセプトで特筆すべき点は、基本的に、バスト胸像なので、胸までしか作らないんですけども、全身を感じるようなラインの切り方といいますか、それは意識しました。参考にしたのはギリシャ彫刻ですかね。学生の時にデッサンの練習でたくさん描いたギリシャ彫刻の石膏像をベースを参考にしてます。ゴジラ2001は今にも噛みつきそうな凶暴性というのを意識して作りました。シン・ゴジラは天から人間を見下ろすようなちょっと神秘的な神のような存在といいますか、妖怪を意識して作ってます。はい、いつもは、30センチや20センチで作ってるんですけども、今回はやっぱり60センチといつも作るより大きかったので、そのディティールの密度に気をつけました。で、やっぱりもう本当にずっと掘り込むといいますか、もう少しでものっぺりしたところがないように、集中しましたね。で、それがすごい大変でした、やっぱり。そして、ゴジラの鱗はやっぱり独特な形をしているので、G ブラシで作る時も専用のブラシを自分で作って、やりました。特にシン・ゴジラの鱗というかブツブツは、ゴーヤという野菜を、参考にしてるらしいんですけど、そのブツブツも特別に作って、彫り込みました。それがすごいやっぱり大変でした。 あと、シン・ゴジラの歯ですね。この歯がすごいやっぱりランダムに並んでいるので、それは完全に再現するように、努力しました。私の作品は基本的に日本以外の人たちに、買ってもらったりするチャンスっていうのがなかなかありませんでした。それがこうやって実現することができてるっていうのがもう本当に嬉しくてたまりません。というかまだちょっと信じられない状態ですね。こんな日本に住む英語も話せないおじさんの作ったゴジラを手に取ってもらえる日が来るというのは本当に夢のようです。本当に XM さんには感謝してます。はい。世界のゴジラコレクターの皆さん、皆さんがゴジラに抱いている魅力を思いっきり詰め込みました。皆さんが抱くゴジラの魅力は私も熟知してます。なぜなら私はゴジラに取りつかれた男だからです。このゴジラに取りつかれた男の作品をぜひ皆さん手に取ってください。XM チームの最高の仕上がりも加わり、必ず満足のいく仕上がりになっていると思います。私はこれからも世界中のゴジラコレクターのために、そして自分のためにゴジラを作り続けますので、ぜひよろしくお願いいたします。
Okay, we'd just like to thank Tanika for sharing those thoughts with us. I believe you guys are familiar with Tanika's work. Andrew?
Yes, yeah. Tanaka-san has his own studio, Tanaka Studio, and I think he shared lots of his stuff on his Instagram page, which is just his name with, I think, a dot in between. And lots of awesome works. I think the Godzilla 2000, the 84, depiction from the poster. Like, those are really cool stuff. And I've seen a lot of, like, his Burning Godzilla of the Mothra Wings and lots of GMK stuff. And it's really awesome to see him take on Godzilla 94 and SpaceGodzilla. I think this diorama is definitely like a true passion for him, as Stanley mentioned, and you can definitely feel it. Like when you showed that video to us, you can definitely feel like he put a lot of passion into making this whole diorama. You can really see all the both Godzilla and SpaceGodzilla, like just getting ready to do battle, and just the bases, like that looks so good. Really love all the little details, like little cars and crushed buildings. Everything's awesome.
Oh yeah, his work keeps getting bigger and better.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he actually did, like you said, the bus series, and oh man, that GMK and the Shin Godzilla, that's like really spot on.
Stanley, would you like to tell us a little bit more about working with Tanika?
Yeah, he's really a very nice I would say sculptor, a very nice artist. He's really talented, and he's willing to I guess I would say work together, to discuss, to communicate. He don't shy away from those things. He's really passionate, and I guess the ultimate goal for him is to create a extremely good piece for everybody. Something that he is proud of. So like what Andrew Gifora mentioned, he's been doing garage kits, bars. He's got the relevant experience and the know-how, and because of him being so passionate, that in fact helped make his work even better. He's so passionate about it, and yeah, I think he's really very, very easy to work with, and it's a nice person. Yeah. We kind of like become friends because of we just simply love Godzilla and all things kaiju. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you speak Japanese?
I don't speak Japanese, but I understand somewhat. But he speaks English. Yeah, we type text and stuff like that in English. So yeah, he's well versed in both ways, I guess.
Oh, yep. Awesome.
So it's curious, like what was like the whole like entire process? Was it like from 2D and 3D, or was it just mostly 2D and then transforming it to like the 3D form?
Well, working for us, the process is somewhat similar to all our designs. We have to go through a 2D phase of conceptualization. So we will communicate. We will let each other know basically what we want. In the entire design, what some of the elements that should be there, like the key highlights, like men in suit, for example, it needs to be depicted. Buildings needs to be based on the movies, for example. And of course, things like switch out options needs to be made known really early. So even during the sketch phase, when Tanaka sketches, he puts those in, and from there he will, once it's approved by Toho, we kind of move on to the sculpt phase where he does all his details. He will send us I would say updates, and we will go through like talking about the tail. There's one issue about the tail because of the way it's being curved, how wide it is. He was like, should we do it this way? There's this communication going on even for space. So we'll say, yeah, let's go ahead because that's how it is. So it was like, yeah, that's awesome. So that's how we started the conversation. And yeah, so throughout the entire sculpt process, there's a lot of communication between both parties. And yeah, then finally, even the paint app, for example, we painted the prototype, we sent it to him, and there was like, there's some color that needs to be adjusted, and we say, yeah. So he went all out, circling, this is something that we need to be corrected. So yeah, the process that we went through is the entire process from 2D all the way up to paint. So I think it's a wonderful journey that we have, and yeah, we're gonna keep working together. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, looking forward to all the upcoming projects of him and you guys.
And what would you say was the kind of biggest challenge that you faced on the process, the design process?
Well, I guess it's making decisions like the tail, for example, because these are hard decisions because people has very limited space to display a piece so huge, right? So considerations like that and decisions of whether or not we should proceed forward, disregarding the how wide is it going to be or long, is definitely one of the I would say key issues we have, because having Godzilla being so huge, it comes with a price, which is such a long tail. So that is probably one of the key I would say discussion we had, and definitely the towel. I don't know we want to put that in. So there's also things like and also because of the setting of the movie, there's a lot of buildings, and we really try to also keep the footage low as well, so that more space can be saved. So there's a lot of discussion, between the both of us. And
Yeah, we need some room saved for the next statue from XM Studios.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
And how we can position them together, that's just some considerations that we definitely have to have.
Obviously, there was the design side of doing the tail, but obviously, was there a lot of engineering to take into consideration when putting the tails like that?
So yeah, so during the sculpt phase, Tanaka Sensei actually went in and created preparations, I guess, for the engineering portion, like how the tail is supposed to be fitted together, yet covering the seams. That's very important, and how parts are being split, so that should we dive into, I mean, parts are being split, and when we go into production, how easy it is to basically you can do replicas of it, casting it, and also how we are able to probably patch it later if there's a need. So things like this, they're all thought out, very early in the design and sculpting phase. So which actually leads to a pretty smooth, I would say, transition from print and later on to the cast and to the final product. So yeah, everything is planned. So yeah, it's really, really tedious, but I would think it's definitely fruitful. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Because I know some companies, like, they didn't have the engineering thought out so well. So then like the statue would like collapse due to its own weight. So they needed to add like extra bases to keep it from falling apart. So it's really good to see that you guys thought of the engineering up front,
Yes.
just to make sure it can support its weight. Because both Godzilla and SpaceGodzilla, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty heavy due to the size.
That's right.
So both products come in version A and B with different features. Godzilla 1994 and SpaceGodzilla come in 2 versions each. Godzilla version A offers collectors a simple, minimal base, and that's priced at 1,499 Singapore dollars. Version B offers collectors a complete visual experience with added ruined buildings surrounding Godzilla in the base and option for crystal shards. The edition size for this will be 200, and the price will be 2,299 Singapore dollars. Crystal-like add-ons to recreate the battle scene where SpaceGodzilla transforms Fukuoka into the Crystal Fortress. Crystal-like add-ons can be removed and replaced with destroyed highways littered with cars who got caught in the heat of battle, offering collectors a display option to focus solely on Godzilla. SpaceGodzilla version A offers collectors a simple, minimal base. The price for this will be 1,599 Singapore dollars. SpaceGodzilla version B offers the elaborate base, offering a full visual display experience to recreate the final battle scene with Godzilla in the movie. With the hand-painted buildings forming part of the base and crystal structures surrounding SpaceGodzilla, forming his crystal fortress in Fukuoka. The edition size is 200, and the price for this will be 2,399 Singapore dollars. The full details will be on the links in the description below. So, over to Stanley. Why have you chosen to do this in 2 different versions for each?
I guess we really want to cater this to a wider range of audience. So, and of course, considering how big the setup is, so the team have decided to kind of provide collectors the option to basically get a slightly more reduced version of the entire setup, which is, through the base. Some people really just, I guess some collectors, they really just like to have the piece by itself. And so, yeah, that's why we provided this option to collectors. Yeah.
Are there any plans for more Godzilla products in the near future? I know you touched on this a little earlier.
Yeah, so the team is planning a really big, I would say, project in 2022. We're working with Matt Frank. So Matt is a awesome, I would say, artist and designer for all things kaiju. So yeah, we have something up our sleeve, and I think it's something that is really going to be a showstopper as well. Something really big and elaborate. So yeah, let's watch out for that. And of course, we do have more releases as well. I shouldn't say any more, but I think I guess the collectors will be excited when we start to release the rest of it. So yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Sounds like quite the dream team.
Definitely.
Yeah, again, XM Studios just does outstanding work, and Matt Frank is very is a very exciting Godzilla artist, and with Tanaka's skills there as well. It's all top notch.
Yeah, definitely. Like acclaimed team right there. Just all the top talent.
Well, we just really want to I guess create beautiful, awesome Godzilla pieces to fans.
The price for the Godzilla 1994 version A is 1,499 Singapore dollars, and that's an estimated 1,100 USD. The version B will be 2,099 Singapore dollars, which is an estimated 1,688 USD. The SpaceGodzilla version A will be 1,599 Singapore dollars, which is estimated at around 1,174 USD. And the SpaceGodzilla version B would be 2,399 Singapore dollars, which is an estimated 1,761. These prices are a direct conversion for today, and they're direct conversion from if you are ordering direct from XM Studios. So obviously, if you're going to be ordering from a distributor, you'll need to factor in that they will be shipping it to themselves first. So there'll be other costs in there as well. So I just want to move on to that and offer the panel just what's your views on there being the version A and B, and then also the kind of price difference between the two on there. So we'll go across to Heisenberg first.
Yeah. I'm glad that there are options of like with the base, because definitely sometimes I'm in the mood where I'm more primarily interested in the figure, and I've seen some figures come out with the base where I figured it's like, well, the base is not not my main interest. That it's like I think I would have preferred just to put the focus on the figure. But in this case, it's nice to have the options. It depends on your particular mood and your particular love of the movie. Oh yeah. And then, but yeah, it's like I think these. But yeah, for for this size and for getting it in polystone, which gives it more detail, it's like I'd expect that this is a high-end item priced accordingly. But it's really it's a great centerpiece to a collection.
Oh, for sure. And just to recap as well, so the version A to version B on the Godzilla 94 is around 500 and so yeah, it's about $588 price difference there as well to get the sort of different base options. So I do think that's gives collectors a great choice of being able to get the whole version with everything in, or getting the more minimal version if that's the kind of collection they want to go for. So what do you think about that, and G Forever?
Yeah, definitely it's great, as Heisenberg mentioned, great to have options. For me personally, like seeing the whole thing like together, I'm gonna probably go with version B for both. But yeah, definitely if you kind of want to save a little bit money, but you still want the SpaceGodzilla or the Godzilla, definitely it's great to have the two options. You are saving a lot of money, and they still look great even without the extra crystals. So really, very excited that XM2 is being so considerate to the collectors, giving everyone a choice. It'll be a little easier on some folks' wallets.
No, for sure. And Helmi, what version are you going for there?
I am going for the standard version just because, like, more often than not, I like the clean look. But at the same time, I'm trying to save money because you guys are pumping out way too many things. So I have to scale back and be selective in what I get. But I love the fact that you guys have two price points. And even though the diorama piece is slightly more expensive, but I love the fact that the edition size is really small. So you feel like for me, I would feel pretty exclusive to know that I'm one of 200 people in the world to have that. So loving the fact that you guys have two price points, loving the standard edition, and I'm excited to get it.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, and also glad I wanted to emphasize with the Godzilla version B, so the Godzilla with the full with the full base, that there's actually two different ways of displaying it, which I think is very cool. I know XM Studios, I think, does that with some of its other statues. The fact that you can like have you can have the crystals or not have the crystals, have the crystals or like have like more buildings and other things happening. That's also a very, very nice option.
Yeah, so I think a lot of our viewers are keep asking about like vinyl versions. I know from our last interview, Stanley, like that wasn't really in the works. But any news for our viewers?
Well, I would think that it's still going to be polystone for now, because after all, XM is known to be a polystone manufacturer. For all things, for designs like this, right? So vinyl is definitely one option. And I would be honest, the team is also, we are really exploring the possibilities as well. But like I mentioned the last time, we have to go through a series of talks with Toho, with the team, ourselves. So yeah, it may take some time, but yeah, definitely this is an option that we are looking into. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Do you have any more questions, Helmi? Yep.
Yeah, I do. Just a few more. The first one, any chance you guys are doing a human-sized one?
What? Human size? Wow.
7 foot tall.
then I will probably be buying the suit. Well, that'd be cooler, right? You can go in.
Yeah.
Somebody did actually comment on our bust. We put out a post out said both the busts are up for pre-order, and someone said, "Are you considering making a life-size bust?" And we're just like, "What? are you joking?"
Nice Godzilla bus. Wow, that's
Yeah,
gonna be
I think they meant like like that kind of size.
The
but-
human size.
yeah,
Human-sized, yeah.
but they said life size, and we all had a good laugh about that when we read through
Yeah.
it.
You can make your own Godzilla hotel then.
Yeah, you'd have to have a hotel to put it on top of.
Yeah.
For
that
sure.
would be cool, man.
Just one more question. Will you be releasing or producing any of the accessories that may come, like for example the Super X ship and stuff like that, to be a companion to its Godzilla?
Oh, so probably in this case it'll be like Star Falcon and the Land Mogera.
Well, like I mentioned, there's the list is long, and I will not say that we will not look at it. So yeah. Oh,
I'm sure that Stanley will be open to any suggestions that you have after the chat. Anyway, he'll go through some things with you there. I just want to add, we did mention that we have the Godzilla 2001 bust and the Shin Godzilla bust. Both of these are up for pre-order currently, and the links will be in the description below. Also, I just want to add that all of our Godzilla collectibles are available worldwide, everywhere except for Japan. So just to let you know that. What I'd like to do is I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. And what we'll do first is if you'd like to just say where we can see more of you guys. So Andrew and Ty, if you just want to say where people can see more of you, if you want to plug your channel.
Yeah, so both Heisenberger and I are on the Luminous News YouTube channel, and we, as Heisenberg mentioned, we do all the Godzilla reviews on pretty much any Godzilla product we can get our hands on, as well as news with any upcoming movies or any fun stuff related to Godzilla. So you can check us out on YouTube, and we also are on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Awesome. Helmi?
I'm always on Facebook, this Facebook group called Collect All Monsters. I do I put up pictures there. I do live unboxings there. I unboxed the massive 90 centimeter Shin Godzilla in that group, and it took me, I think, half an hour. I don't know if Andrew saw it, but I almost died. I almost broke my back carrying that 90 centimeter. So yeah, I do a lot of stuff there. So I'm very happy to chat over there as well.
That popped up on my feed, actually. I saw it halfway through and I was laughing to myself. So I just want to add that. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. And also thank you to Stanley for taking the time to be here. And do the usual, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share. If there's anything you want to ask us, if you put it down in the comments below, and we'll try and get back to you with an answer. So thanks, everyone. And remember, happy collecting. Take care.